All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad to have you here. I want to encourage you to sit back and relax. Enjoy yourselves. Maybe cozy up to somebody you know in order to keep warm. If you happen to be sitting next to somebody you don't know, please introduce yourself first before you cozy up. Okay? Only requirement. Introduce yourself, and then in the end, let's all stay plenty warm, because we have an amazing story to share with you this evening. This is a true story. It is a story about God's love for us, God's love for you. And this story, believe it or not, began before the dawn of time and has continued all the way through today and beyond. But don't worry, we're not going to cover it all. We're just going to cover one particular and very important part. This is the part where, in God's love for us, He decided that He was going to communicate that love by becoming one of us. Yeah, God chose to become a human being just like us so that we would know how much He loves us. Now, when God decided to do that, He didn't do it in the way that at least I would expect God to do it. God didn't come as a great leader. He didn't come as a mighty warrior. He didn't even come as an awesome poet. When God decided He was going to become a human being, He came the same way that you and I do, as a helpless little baby. And that's the story we want to share with you tonight. So if you put on your imagination hats, tie them on nice and tight, and come with me to a time many centuries ago, to a little seemingly insignificant village called Bethlehem. Can you see it? Over here we have the bakery. Fresh bread just coming out of the oven. Come on, breathe deep. You smell it? It'll take a minute till it gets over here. These guys are smelling it already. I'll get over here in just a minute. Over here we have the home of the woman who weaves most of the cloth for the people in the village. And down the way a bit, you can probably see lights on in one of the buildings down there. That's the potter's shop. He tends to work a bit late. Bit of a workaholic, that potter. Now over here, this is the local inn. Very busy these days. You can probably hear all the hubbub going on inside. It's much quieter out here at the stable. But I'll tell you, it doesn't smell so good. Now over here, these are the hills just outside of Bethlehem. It's where all the wild things are. Wolves, foxes, bears, and shepherds. Now down the road a bit, you might just be able to see a young man and his fiancée who are even now making their way into Bethlehem. For you see, a decree has gone out from Caesar Augustus himself that all of those under the rule of the Roman Emperor are needing to be taxed. And so this young man, Joseph, is coming along with Mary, his wife-to-be, who I should hasten to add, also happens to be about 9 months pregnant. Yeah. Traveling in those days wasn't good under the best of circumstances, but traveling while pregnant had to be horrible. And to make matters worse, they're coming into a town that is full to overflowing. They aren't going to find a single room available at the local inn. So you know where they're going to end up having their baby? Right here, in the stable, with nothing more than a cold and dirty manger in which to lay their newborn son. Just how far is God willing to go to prove to us that He loves us? Let's watch and see. It's a simple yet amazingly beautiful picture, isn't it? But wait, there's more. You remember those hills I was telling you about? Well, it just so happened on the very night that this baby was being born that there were some shepherds out in those hills attending to their sheep. And get this, all of a sudden out of nowhere an angel appears, as bright as day, with the glory of the Lord shining on him. I don't need to tell you that those shepherds were terrified. And then the angel says, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for everyone. For today, in the city of David, a Savior has been born to you, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be the sign that what I'm telling you is the truth. You will find a baby wrapped in strips of cloth and lying in a manger." When the angels returned to heaven, the shepherds decided to make their way into Bethlehem in order to find this baby that the angel had told them about. They came with great haste and enthusiasm, eager to share the good news of all they had seen and heard with everyone they had met along the way. And when they found the baby, just as the angel had said they would, they bowed down and worshipped him. Now God intended that the gift of his Son would be for everyone. And so he brought another group from very far away to join in this beautiful story of love. Wise men came from the east, traveling many miles as they followed a new and brilliant star. Perhaps you can see them as they rise up over the hill on their way into Bethlehem. They come seeking the King of the Jews, and they bring with them gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. These they will offer to this holy child as they too bow down and worship him. Such worship for a baby? Ah, but this is no ordinary baby. This is Jesus, who is also called Emmanuel, which means God with us. God who left the beauty and the majesty of heaven to become one of us, so that we would know just how much he loves us. This is a God truly worthy of my adoration. Well, folks, our time is about up, but we will be sharing this again at 7:30 if you missed the beginning or you care to join us again. But whether you join us again or not, the impact of this event is far from over. What started out in the manger continued throughout Jesus' life until, as a man, he willingly allowed himself to be killed on a Roman cross in order to pay the price for all that we had done wrong. Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. It is this love that we hope you will find this Christmas season, and that in finding that love, you will know the hope and peace and joy that Christ brings. On behalf of all of us, we would like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming.